7. Back-to-back double bogeys. And he goes all the way down into 37th position.
That'll do fine, and with his power he can probably get in from there. It's the longest way to go up the left-hand side, but it takes you well away from the water that lurks on the right. That crowd can.
Final twosome has walked down the 18th, and Martin Kaymer, who's pulled his drive a little over to the left. He's okay, he's in the first cut of semi, and Wayne Riley can tell us what's in front of him.
Yeah, it's a good lie. Just in the semi. He's got 260, pin over there front right. Don't want to miss it right, short side yourself, just power it to the middle of the green. You'll have to hit this hard. This is way left. It's okay though.
Just missed his footing a little bit. It slipped as he got to the top of the back and started to launch it. He's in a bunker and an awkward distance from the pin, getting close and the pin in a difficult way, but he's okay. 5 here, 4 here. It's made a huge difference when you're that far ahead. But I just think his right foot slipped.
This man here, he won't be alongside him on Sunday, but he does have the chance to get out there and fire in a few birdies, and this man will have to look at it. But hugely impressive. Rookie of the year last year. And when he played on the Challenge Tour, he only played in just over a handful of events, and that was enough to get his card. So he's not all of a sudden become a good player. He's been a good player now for a good couple of years. One thing I was looking at, Bruce, over the last couple of weeks is how many youngsters are coming through in Europe, not just from England. We've talked about the young English Lions. We've had 3 of them in here this week in the commentary position. We've got the Frenchman beginning to play well, this man from Germany, and if you go down to South Africa, there's a few others coming through that we will see on tour this year. So the game really for the European tour is in a very healthy state.
I think that's right. Plus they've got some new sponsors coming through, but you're right. And this man is built for the modern game with a big course of 7,500 yards. He hits it as far as you could ever want to. The equipment works for him. And you ally that to a good temperament and a good putting touch. And yes, and that's the great strength of the game. As the European Tour has grown, it can only grow and attract sponsors if it starts producing the stars of the future. And I think the future is very bright because of the cosmopolitan nature of the European Tour. You know, the stern Germans and the flamboyant Latins come through, and there is great variety. And there seemingly characters emerge, which is probably not true of the repetitive nature of the courses on the American Tour.
Deserved applause. Another one that comes to mind you saw down in Estoril last year, Pablo Martin, and kind of hope he comes back to play in Europe because he's not ready to go to the States yet. I think he needs to get himself over here and go up against the likes of Henrik Stenson.
Well, I must say I like the idea, and I'm beginning to hear little bits of rumour that Stenson, who really went to camp on the US Tour last year, didn't really work out for him, didn't find it a great deal of fun. And I think he's perhaps going to realign his schedule to play over here more. Adam Scott's thinking of playing in Europe a bit more. The rewards are beginning to become comparable. And I think it's, if you start getting the big names coming back, then oof, what a tour this becomes. And credit to those responsible with, as I say, tying up people in Dubai for some big numbers. The rewards are going to be here, and that in the end is what will bring them back.
Well, it's a long trap shot. We know they're difficult, but this is the perfect length long trap shot because you just a full-blooded swing, and it should go the right distance with the right connection. I expect him to get this within 6 or 7 feet, maybe better.
The icing on the cake. Another admirable round of golf from young Martin Kaymer. No drop shots, there were 4 birdies in there, and to a 66 and a 65 he will add a 68. That's very difficult to live with. The finishing touches still have to be applied. He'll know that more than anyone else, even at his tender age. But what an exhibition of golf that's been over the 3 days.
Yes, in some ways that day, today's golf will have given him more pleasure almost than the other two. His score's not quite as good, but tee to green he's been as good as he had the other 2 days. He's missed certainly 3 putts under 10 feet in that, so he knows there's even better to come. But he'll have been so pleased to have stood alongside a player of the caliber of Henrik Stenson and not blinked once.